the whisky we have with us today is a striking bottle, one of my favourite designs of recent years. This is a blended malt from the JG Thomson range, owned by the Scotch Malt Whisky Society. JG Thomson have a fair bit of history, as far as I'm aware. I think they date back to the 1700s or so.
I think they do, and they were certainly based. They were general merchants, but then gradually in the 19th century became focused on blended Scotch whisky.
Yes.
But they were based in Leith, and I think latterly, as a matter of fact, their HQ was in the Vault, which of course is now the HQ of the Scotch Malt Whisky Society.
Of course.
So this range was launched, we reckon, about 2 years ago.
Yeah, kind of 2019, 2020, I think the brand was re-revived.
And what does it comprise?
So the range comprises of 3 separate strands. There's a rich variant with the nice red label, a sweet
that's this one, yeah,
variant, which I think is yellow, and then a smoky variant as well, which is like a grey stripe across it. There's a few vintage expressions and older expressions in there as well. So the one we're trying today is the no age statement rich variant, as we say, a blended malt. So various single malt whiskies vatted or blended together. In terms of the colour, it certainly looks nice and rich. Plenty of, what do you say, European oak influence, some sort of sherry seasoned casks kicking in there. What do we think on the nose? What's jumping out?
It's the European oak, definitely. Dried fruits, raisins, sultanas, figs, dried figs.
Yeah, maybe a very slight citrusiness to it. Lots of.
Well, no, I'm thinking.
What do you think?
I think you're absolutely right, and I think it's like crystallized orange peel.
Yes, yeah. In fact, I'm a big fan of Terry's chocolate orange.
Yes,
There's a bit of that kind of chocolatey orange combination coming through here. The strength of this one, I think this is quite an approachable range from the SMWS, the Whisky Society. It's 46%. Obviously, the rest of their expressions are all single cask strength. So this is perhaps a nice gateway into the society for some people. First sip, what are your thoughts?
Sweet, then tannic dry. And in the taste, there's a trace for me of fruit loaf. You know that malt loaf, rather.
Okay.
You know, again, there's dried fruits coming through. It's very pleasant, and it's very much on the European oak side of things. So a very good example of European oak maturation.
Yeah. It's got a nice sweetness to it without being too cloying, I would say.
No, not cloying at all.
I think feels like quite a neat whiskey. Quite clean finish, I would say. It doesn't. Some sherry whiskies can be a bit much.
Kitchen spices in the aftertaste, allspice and mace.
Yeah, no, it's a
very nice drink. Yeah,
it is a very pleasant drink. Yeah, I think it's a very smart choice. Obviously for cask strength whiskies that are 55, sometimes 60%. You know, they're very difficult, and often adding a touch of water, you can drown it quite easily. It's difficult to find that perfect point. An expression like this at 46%, it's drinkable. It's got body to it. It's got a little bit of alcoholic prickle to it. With water, are we getting anything else?
I like a little bit of water with it, but it doesn't need it. It drinks perfectly well straight.
Yeah, no, very pleasant. I think it's. Have you tried the other expressions in the range, the sweet and the smoky?
This one actually is my favourite of the three.
Yeah.
The others are equally good in their own way. But it's a nice idea to have a range that focuses on smoky, sweet, and rich, as you say.
Yeah, I think having them, it sounds silly, but having them colour coordinated is quite smart. 'Cause I think they did that for a while with, their single cask expressions. They grouped them by colour, by category, by flavour.
Very difficult to sometimes to put them in one category or another.
Yeah, but no, this is a lovely drop. Plenty of character to it. Would you say, if you were to hazard a guess at the age of the components in this blended malt, would you say it tastes young or
8-ish? I should think.
8-ish, yeah. It's kind of old enough to pick up some of that cask influence, but not. Yeah, I think the price point of this whiskey is they're not going to use whiskies that are 15 plus years old. So,
I wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah, nice and lively, lots of cask influence, And yeah, a nice clean, neat,
Yeah.
tasty whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
lovely.
Very good indeed.